SCCRESA TV presents in 3, 2, 1, Dateline Schools with your host, Terry Harrington.
All this week on Dateline Schools, we're at Port Huron High School that hosted the 21st Century Learning Symposium. And all this week, we had the privilege of talking to one of the keynote speakers at this year's symposium, education technology expert, Leslie Fisher. What can schools be doing to help parents to embrace this? And so we're working together and not constantly battling each other because of the technology.
I think what schools can do for parents is to keep the parent more informed about what's happening in the classroom. I think that's a big thing. I think if teachers would share what those students are doing on a day-to-day basis, that would be great. It's a really interesting question, but I do think more communication to the parents is very important.
I know a lot of schools, you have access to student records, you have teachers that email and all that kind of stuff. That really isn't enough, is it?
No, it's not. And the thing that is the interesting thing is what teachers... You're always going to have a teacher that might have some parents that make the communication angle a little bit more different. And are the teachers comfortable with that communication? But no, email isn't enough. That's why I mentioned Remind earlier, which is a great text messaging service that can send text messages instantly to parents. Something like a Bloom's, which keeps up to date with what's going on in that classroom. Even something like a Schoology, which is basically almost like a Facebook for a classroom, using those tools that those parents, or even just the basics of calendaring, a calendar of events that show what's going on. We think of social media now. Let's think of something like Facebook, and a parent might have the butcher shop down the street as a Facebook friend because they shop there to see what's going on. And I think we need to look at the school institution in that same light. It needs to become part of that daily presence for that parent. And that parent, I think, needs to feel comfortable knowing that they can contact that teacher or that school if they have concerns or questions.
It's a whole new way of applying what we've learned and kind of make that relevant to our everyday lives, isn't it?
It's absolutely. I mean, if you look at the core of what we teach, it's still there. It's just that it has an electronic layer to it. And I always chuckle when people say technology, because we've always had technology. In some way, shape, or form, we've always had technology, and we've always had to embrace change. I am sure that there is some chiseler out there that's really bummed that, he's long gone, but at the time was really bummed that we moved from chiseling on rock to, writing on quill and paper and ink. And I'm sure he's really bummed that technology changed. But we look at that, and that's nothing near technology. We've always had change. We've always had change. The thing that we haven't had is it changing so rapidly. And that's what we're dealing with right now.
More tomorrow. For Dateline Schools, I'm Terry Harrington.